Hey, welcome. Got another stream going for Unreal and CG Spectrum, and I've got my background from last year up, which I was like, geez, I should make use of this background before it becomes not necessary anymore. Hey, Dave's here, welcome. I was looking at this background, I was like, hey, I forgot that I have put a little fox in this background. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Forgot all about that. And I had to change the lights. And I was like working with the lights just like 3 minutes ago going, okay, gotta get some lights going so it's looking appropriate. So I can't say I put a lot of polish into it. But anyway, today what we're gonna try to do is basically summarize what we talked about last week, because a lot of things I've sort of figured out since we last talked, where we left off trying to do Rococo motion capture, retargeting into different streams. So like coming off of Rococo player to motion builder or coming off into Unreal. Both of them have a bit of information that I've learned about. And one thing I left off just at the end of the last stream was I couldn't get my motion to record in motion builder, and I did actually figure that out in the end of the day. So and I just remembered that motion builder sometimes takes forever to open, so I'm gonna do an attempt to open it right now. Where's my is it 2019? And then what I want to do after that is Nora, who's one of our students, has modeled this cool rig. Let me just jump over to what I got here, which is empty screen. Oh look, motion builder opened up right away, just in time to block me from moving the screen over. So we got this cool character that Nora has put onto Sketchfab, and I haven't tried to do anything with this character yet, but I did offer to try and rig it, and today might be a good day to try to rig it. So there's also at the same time an ambitious plan to try and use M gear to rig it with, but I really don't know where I'm going with that one, so it's going to be my first attempt. And then my second attempt is using a method we've used in the past, which was a rigging tool set that was really like very refined using Advanced Skeleton. Very quick process. But either way, in the end of the day, what I want is a character rig that's pretty usable so other students can animate with it. So I doubt I'm actually going to get this finished in this stream, but we can definitely get going at it and start talking about some of the cool features about this rig, this character, and also make sure that it works fine in Maya. Now, I still got to go set up my motion builder scene here from last week. I think we can just grab, oh, this is actually the baked in piece scene here. So what we have here from last week was we were trying to get basically the Rococo skeleton to stream in off of this yellow skeleton here, and it was playing this motion, and then we were driving our other character to follow it so that the two motions were working together. But I couldn't get the motion from the Rococo to go to our character, and it's actually like sometimes there's an option to record stuff, but I mean, as you can see here, I can't do it. Well, I could kind of do it this way, but it wouldn't let me. So we'll go through the steps again, and I'll discuss it. The difference, and the reason why it's different is because there's no timeline to bake. Usually you'd be baking or plotting the motion back down to the skeleton, but you can't do that in this context because the data that you're baking is not on a timeline. It's just being streamed in at all times. So it wouldn't know how much to bake, and so what it ends up doing is just baking that single frame. So you do end up getting that one frame baked, but you don't get like you don't get like this constant recording. So that's what this recording feature is for. I don't use that normally because I'm not usually dealing with live data in Motion Builder. All that stuff usually gets done outside in another third-party software using, well, we were calling it Blade, but now it's like Shotgun or something that, let's say, Vicon is using, and they would give you the data that was already pre-calculated. So anyway, what we're going to do is try to emulate that again, see if I can get this set up, and then we're going to talk about the Unreal one, which is a whole interesting story. I don't want to talk about it yet because it's going to spoil all the fun. I don't know, it's not going to be fun. It's just going to be like, there's a thing happening. Let's talk about it. So here's our Rococo Studio. I've only got 1 month of free trial to do this Rococo Studio stuff in terms of being able to stream this data over to other softwares. So after we have a 2-week break after this, which goes, it's from the CG Spectrum, takes holidays from the mentoring and teaching so that we get a little bit of downtime during the holidays. So I'm not going to be doing streams for the next couple weeks. And then my free trial is going to be done by the time I get back. So this is my only chance to really get this done. And speaking of which, out of a pure coincidence, one of the people I used to work with on a mod team, John Inman, he contacted me and he was asking me literally these questions. Like, he's like, do you know much about Rococo? Do you know how to get motion live linked? And he was talking about how to do retargeting to mannequin and stuff, which is hilarious because I'm like, I just finished doing a stream. That was exactly that conversation. So what we decided to do was, or what he decided to do was, you can sign up for a free demo from Rococo if you book yourselves in. Potential person who's going to be purchasing the Rococo suit. And so he signed that up and invited me to come along so that we can both sit through it. So that's on Monday. I'm going to be doing that. Oh, look, we're getting Slack notifications here. That's because my Slack is currently on this window, I guess. And so on Monday, I'm going to find out a little more information about Rococo and maybe ask some of the questions that I'm going to be understanding, which is perfect because I'm in the middle of R&Ding how Rococo works, and then I get to talk to the guys and see if I can get some answers. Okay, so this is our Rococo playing some sample animations as if we were, streaming it live off of an actual suit. And we go to Studio Live, and I'm going to turn off Unreal, turn on Motion Builder, get that enabled on 14.04.03. Let's see if I can get this running again pretty quick. I've already done all the plugin installations and stuff. Oh boy, now what do I gotta do? So in the devices, I have the Rococo actor set up. Let me double click on that. It says we're online, we're recording, we're not live, so we check on live. So that's part of the story about how we're gonna do this recording later. So here we've set it to live, and now we've got the yellow skeleton running data streaming straight from Rococo. And our character, if we just switch our character, so I also got the UE4 female working. Last stream I was really struggling, but we came up with the realization that I had got my left, right elbows and arms and legs all backwards, and that was in fact all it was. So now I can get the female to work. So I select the UE4 character, and I'm going to hook together that they're going to be driven by what is being streamed as the smart suit. So the smart suit is a character, and it's that character is going to drive our character. So then you get the motion, and this is where you get into this whole problem of, well, how do I get that to stay? It's now just running dynamically. So I was saying, oh, we're just gonna bake it to the skeleton. It's easy, you just bake to the skeleton. And as you can see, it just takes a snapshot of that one frame that it was happened to be on, and that's it, that's all you get. So that wasn't a very good solution. And then if you go, I wanna record it, and it's like nothing to record. Oh, we gotta get this actually back onto the character. Let's try it again. Record, nothing to record. So it all came down to what's going on in this IO device, and we need to be able to support recording. And then it will allow us to do this. So that checkbox by default does not turn on. And then we can override it. And hopefully this is all what we have to do here, because I don't even remember the next step. Did that actually do anything? I don't know if it did actually. Uh-oh, this is where I'm getting stuck now. What's the next step? I forget. Start record. Here it is. No? Hold on. Oh man, no, I really have forgotten what I have to do here. I swear I got it working. You saw it. Model binding. It's on the right take. Got the UE4 female. This is the problem. You learn things and then you just forget what they are. They just disappear. Well, let's do create then. No, don't copy the new data. Yeah, I'm really stuck here. I thought that was going to work. It worked so easily the first time I did it that I didn't even really like struggle. So now I've forgotten what it was. Oh shoot, that's too bad. Well, anyways, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be about plotting. It was all about using this recording and then setting it up, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong right now. Something's clearly gone wrong. Anyways, we'll just keep moving. I wish I could have an answer here, but I don't. And the frustrating thing is the next thing I'm going to talk about is also really not working very good. So this is going to be great. Maybe I'll just leave this sitting here for a sec, and then we'll come back to it. Maybe I'll have a new idea. Okay, so the next thing is the way that the Rococo works for Unreal. I was really struggling in the streams, and I went and took a look at like what type of things might be causing the issue, and I found some my student that is working on this gave me a video, and the video let me just jump over to that video right now because it was actually pretty good. I put it into the library for virtual production, and it just covers a VTuber who talks. Oops, this isn't it. That's another cool thing. This is something else I could talk about, but let me come back to that in a sec. Maybe I put it in real animation. Actually, here it is. So this video is talking about how to get a metahuman to be driven by Rococo and streamed across, and with inside of Unreal specifically. And with metahuman, it's a little bit of a different process, and there's a bit of setup that's required to get it to work, but the end results are pretty good. I mean, it's impressively, especially with a facial expression coming off of a camera that isn't even on a head cam. It's just getting sort of facial expressions in there. There's a definitely super uncanniness to it, but it's not too bad. But in his description here, we've got a few different resources, and that's where I started to realize that there's this Rococo Discord. And so you go to Rococo Discord and you go to the Unreal section and you start reading through the documents, and apparently the 4.27.1 or change or whatever it was caused some disruption in their plugin, and they haven't been able to. It's just they've got a discrepancy between the bone mapping and the actual plugin and what kind of format it needs. So, which is the same problem I was having in my stream, and their solution right now is just hold tight as they fix the plugin. So, like, there's currently no solution, and this all just happened like within the last 7 days. So it was happening pretty much just a couple days before my my stream last week, and I was really trying to see if I could get it working again this week as I was researching it, because I was really curious, especially now that I'm going to be talking to them next week, to figure out how the heck it works. And I did make some progress. It wasn't, you know, all for naught, but in the end of the day, I realized that they even give you like a quick fix plugin that they offered. Oh, and from the GitHub, which of course I can't show you right now because I got the wrong one. See if I can get this GitHub to work again. From the GitHub, they have a much more up-to-date instructions about how to use it. And this is where the instructions are needed to be. So the ones that I was finding on the webpage were not as accurate as these ones are. And these ones really give you a much better explanation of how to set it up so that it works properly. It's still, they still aren't up to date. We're still missing different visuals and stuff, but it was able to clarify some of the questions that I had about how to get it to work, and also confirm that, yeah, it wasn't necessarily my end that was failing. It was just the actual plugin itself was not compatible with the latest update from Unreal. If I run over to just quickly the project, I'm going to just open it up. And so some of the things that they give you, or at least that YouTube video gives you, is a bunch of assets that you can use. It'll give you this folder. This one, I think. No, I don't know which one it was. There was a folder that they gave us. Oh, wait, I was doing it in a backup folder here. So you can download this folder of different assets, and they have bone mappings for different types of characters, like a Paragon bone list and a metahuman bone list, so bone mapping. So these are things that you can use to help make that transition from the Rococo over to your character and get them live linked easy. But there is none for the mannequin specifically. So, although I wonder if the Paragon one would work for the mannequin actually. Now that I think out loud here. Let's see here. So there's a bunch of different assets, and now what I'm doing, or what the situation I'm in, is I've switched back to 4.26 because 4.26 was apparently more compatible, and that didn't work either. And then I put in their custom fix plugin by just making a plugins folder. You can install their own custom plugin, and it just runs on that project, but that didn't work. In fact, that worked even worse because I kept getting all these crashes and stuff. So it didn't work. And the one thing I did find out, which I thought was pretty interesting, is how to see the bone mapping in the stuff that I was working on last week. So let me see if I can just demonstrate that, since my current process today has been going so successfully. So like we have this new live link remap set. Let's see if I can. No, that one doesn't have anything yet. So ooh, blueprint. So if we go to blueprint and we make a new blueprint and we look for Rococo blueprints and we look for a Rococo body map data, this is where you can get the mapping between new types of skeletons to the Rococo skeleton so that it works. And when you open it, you get this list of names. This is what I was trying to figure out how to do last week. I needed a list to be able to say our character is such and such is equal to this character is such and such from the stream. And then once you get all these two linked up, you've basically retargeted your animations in a way that allows it to communicate. So that was my missing situation, which I thought was going to fix everything. But so when I finally figured that out, it was like, oh sweet, I got it working. And then when I actually did get it back to where I was, I think is in Mesh Rococo. I was still unable to get things to work. So you have the Rococo body map data, and you're able to, and then you're supposed to be, this is where the real problem is, you're supposed to be able to pick what type of asset, retarget asset you're going to get. And this is where you're supposed to put that map, remap file asset in there. But you can't. You can make one, but you can't assign it anything. It doesn't recognize each other. So there's a difference between, some sort of incompatibility between the asset, the remap asset, and the node that needs to accept it. This type of thing. Even though they're called the same and it's all looking like the same, this is not compatible, it's not working. And that's where we all got stuck. So we got to wait until the plugin updates so that can be usable and you can put it in a slot. And then in theory, that's going to let you be able to get driven from the Rococo data. And also, while I'm going through this, this is like a spew of thoughts here. Earlier in the week, we discussed how to use, well, actually what we're trying to do was get a multi-joints working on one of the students' fingers so that one finger would make all the other fingers move as well without having to, make multiple animations. You could get it driven. And we were using the animation anim graph to kind of drive it. And then Brighton came up with the thought of like, you could use control rig and you can use post-process blueprints to get all that to work, and it was a really cool idea. And I sat down and actually got it figured out, and then created a video for it in the whatever our open session channel is. I can't find it right now. I don't know where my open session channels are. They're there. So inside of this little conversation, if you guys, whoever has access to this, you can check out the video here. We talk about how to do it. So, but what this realized when I was going through this process, because I've never made a post-process blueprint before, and meanwhile, they're really like super useful, and I knew about them, but I've never tried one before. When I was putting together, I was realizing that my post-process blueprint was overriding all the motion for the skeletal mesh. And that's how I think you can get your motion capture that's being streamed to your character to run no matter where it is in the scene. So you could in theory get your mocap to stream in your level. And then I saw one other student who was, I think it was Michael, was getting that to work as well. So I haven't asked him how it works, but I feel like this post-process blueprint overriding with a motion or something, you could get that stream to come straight across. He was doing live linking between Maya and Unreal, and I'm trying to do it through Rococo and Unreal. Man, I have a lot of questions for Michael all of a sudden. I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I was having trouble getting it to be upright. Anyway, so it's kind of cool to think that maybe that post-process blueprint is a factor that we can get so that we can actually see our mocap in the environment, which I didn't think was possible, because I'm like, how do you do it? But then everybody apparently has been seeing it happen. So I think I've cracked that one, but maybe not. Maybe I'm on the wrong track. I don't know. Here's another video series which is pretty mundane. I don't know, maybe a lot of people already know about Matt, what's his name? Matt Workman or something? He's got some pretty cool videos about his adventures doing virtual production and connecting Unreal, and he's actually got a Vicon system. And here's a video that talks about it's like 50 grand for the Vicon system. But he's also got some other excellent videos about virtual production and some of the experiences he's been going through. But these are very recent. Like, he's just sort of figuring it out as we go. Some of these are just like a couple weeks, a few days ago. Just keeps trying out new ideas. So I don't know if there's anything specific to talk about that. I just wanted to bring that up because it was pretty relevant to what we're doing right now. All right, I think that's pretty much everything I had to say for what we were doing last week. Dave's gotta go early again. All right, happy holidays. Take care, man. So I'll slowly wrap this up and get to the rigging part, which is maybe not quite as sensational as this, but we do have a pretty cool character that we get to work with, so we're gonna see what we can do. And in theory, it's possible I'll have it done easily by the end of the hour and a half. But it never does usually go that way with rigging, so the chances are we're gonna be struggling for a while. Especially if I try to use M-Gear, which I don't even think I have M-Gear installed yet, so that might be a challenge on its own. Now, the way that Nora set it up, I think she had it so that you can download it off of Sketchfab. Need to go back to that conversation so that I can confirm this. Also change the Sketchfab link so the character is downloadable. That's what it was. Let's jump over there. And if I can't download this, then I guess I'm gonna have to think of something really quick. Because currently I'm hinging on this being a possibility here. I don't even know how to download stuff, so that's gonna be awesome. Oh, here it is. I'm sure I'm logged in. Oh, you can sign in with Epic? That's cool. Okay, one sec while I quickly try and get myself set up here. Didn't know I had to log into, let's just see if I can. Huh. Well, that's not gonna work. I'm getting there. Just give me a minute. Alright. We are logged in now. Let's try this again. Original format is an OBJ? Wow, is that what you gotta download? Alright, hopefully that includes all the textures. Alright, we need to make ourselves a new folder for this project. Let's jump over to our... thanks. Computer. Assets library. Lava. Oh, it's called Volcano Beast. Volcano Beast. Okay. Ah, good. Textures are in here. Textures and source. Alright, we're ready to go to Maya. Let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna make a folder called source because that's where my Unreal project's gonna be referencing. Oh, we've already got a folder called source. All right, I'm gonna put these ones in here. Rename this to source. Now I mean, this is gonna be related to Unreal because this is an Unreal stream, but it doesn't have to be. Character will be cross-compatible though. It is a very colorful character for a real-time character, so I think this is going to be quite fun to work with. And I'm going to import this OBJ file. I feel like we may have listened to the same song this entire time. It's not that unbelievable. Oh, maybe not. Take that back. Okay, so they all sound the same. Okay, so source. It is the same song, isn't it? Can't even tell. Let's try a different channel. Got chill guitars. You can't have that music if it's chill guitars. Oh, something's wrong. Okay. The music's broken. Oh no. I broke it. I have this thing about listening to the same song over and over again where I'm like, just give me something different. I don't want to hear the same thing over and over again. No, I guess I can't do anything. Oh, Pretzel, you're not shining very well right now. Alright, well, let's try this. I just don't think there's any music that I'm allowed to play on this channel, that's all. It has to be YouTube safe. Okay, so let's go back to importing. I gotta get to the drive here. Looking for Volcano Beast. Source. Import. Where's our little guy? Teeny tiny. And then, for fun, we should probably bring some textures in. Rosanna, welcome. Or wait, Arctech? Is that a hello? Wow, that is quite low poly actually. Which makes it easier to skin. I'm gonna grab let's see. I'm not gonna put any kind of fancy materials on here because I don't want to have all the problems trying to convert it through an FBX. So if I just do simple, I mean I could do Lamberts or Fongs or something. Depends on whether it's supposed to be shiny or not. Old school style. And in the color channel, we're just gonna grab our texture. I haven't done this in a while. Texture. Grab the diffuse. And what was the other one? Emissive internal ground AO texture. Oh man. That's the ambient occlusion of the shadow. That's kind of cool. Emissive. I definitely want to put something like that in. I actually kind of wish I had picked Lambert now that I've made this decision. feel like this is going to be way not the right kind of shininess. So let's grab, just drag that in here. I forget how this works. Hold on. Textures. There we go. Now our Lambert 1 is going to have this, so if we put on our textures, we should be able to see it. Because everything is Lambert 1 when it first comes in. And this one, I'm just going to get rid of this long one here. And we need we can put an emissive in here, I think. Can you just put emissive in here? Incandescence, is that what it's called? Forget. All right. We render that. It's probably going to use the default lighting. Oh no, I'm using Arnold renders. All right, whatever. It looks awesome in the viewport, so we're going well. And then we're just going to save this as what we need. And it does look like I'm going to have to scale this up because there's no way this character is the right size. So asset library. Source. I'll put it in here. I guess we should call this mesh. I'll try to do the proper referencing process here. Josh! Hi, I missed the beginning of the live stream. Will it be uploaded to YouTube? Yes. Yeah, it'll be there. It always is. And I basically, the entire beginning, I just talked about restreaming or streaming from Rococo and some of the experiences and stuff I've learned since our last stream. And then after I ran out of things to talk about 30 minutes in, I was like, all right, now I got this mesh I want to rig, so we're gonna start talking about how to rig this. We're just getting started on this one. And this mesh, by the way, Nora's left it free on the Sketchfab, so you can just download it yourself. But she left it so that somebody can rig it, so other people can animate it. So I volunteered to rig it in the stream here. I need to sort of get a sense of the scale, and I'm gonna make this like human size because it's quite awkward to work when things are tiny like this. So I'm gonna make it a lot bigger, but it's difficult to tell what big is. Sometimes you can import like a default human character to make it look like it's that, you know, you can get sort of a reference point. But what I tend to usually use is the measuring tools, which gives you a distance tool where you make two locators and it tells you how many centimeters they are apart. And if I position this so that it is 100 and, well, it's on this Y, 180 centimeters, and then position this one so it's 0, and we'll know that it has to be that big in order for it to be about 6 feet tall. So we'll scale that up and try to decide whether he should be bigger than humans or smaller than humans. He kind of seems like he should be like super big. Would be more interesting, especially for animations. Josh says, keep watching through. Cheers. Did you say this model was on Sketchfab? Yes. Let me show you, since that's kind of fun to talk about. So it is. How do I Volcano Beast, made by one of our students recently, and once you're logged in you can download the model as an OBJ, but meanwhile you get to pan around and check out what it looks like. Is that enough information? It's out there, I swear. I need to make sure that this character is standing fairly accurately on the ground here. So go right view. And make sure that, what do we got? 0 on the X. And that looks good. So I'm gonna freeze that position, freeze all. The scaling's been addressed. Actually, looking at it so that the humans will be like eye to eye, so to speak. So that makes the lava more interesting. Otherwise, it'd be like little tiny droplets of lava. Although I was actually discussing with Nora about how we would do this part, and she had it so that it was actually connected to the ground. But hey, Josh is downloading it. Nice. So it was connected to the ground. But I was like, that's going to be really tricky to make it look good, because once it's on the ground and the character's walking, that goo is just like, what do you do with it? You gotta, how do you work with it? So I was like, well, if you just make it a drop, and then I can just add a stretch joint, and I can just kind of like scale it and then animate it so it stretches out and it touches the ground, and then it would just quickly shoot back up again, and then meanwhile we'll like spawn a glob of lava on the ground, and then it would be like there'd be a trail of lava where they walk, which would be kind of fun. It'd be a bit of a challenge, but I think it could be done. And really it's just a joint. There wouldn't be anything too sophisticated on this end. It's more on Unreal's end. If you wanted this character to be walking around, that you have to, you know, spawn another piece of material that just is at a certain location on the character. All right, so we'll put this back here and zero this out, I guess. And then we got to go to the next step, which is I had this ambitious idea that I was going to make this with M-Gear. And that's just because I was talking to John Robbins today as part of our real-time department meeting, and he was talking about how he covers M-Gear in his Q&As. And I don't know how to use M-Gear, and he does because he uses it for his job. And it's kind of an interesting option to choose from, because it's M-Gear is a plugin for Maya that is made by Autodesk and supports quite a robust pipeline for people doing rigging. And it was one of those things I always wanted to do. The other alternative is to use Advanced Skeleton, but you're not technically really allowed to teach Advanced Skeleton without paying for the educational license. So it would be kind of cool if I could get M-Gear to work, but I just don't know much about it. Anyways, we're gonna go to plugins. That's what I want to go. Settings, plugin. Let's see if I have M-Gear in here. It doesn't look like I do. So let's go through the process of installing M-Gear, which is always kind of fun. And I'm only gonna get as far as I can, and if I can't get all the way through the process of M-Gear without getting too crazy stuck, then I'll just use Advanced Skeleton. And then I got a fancy trick I used in one of our previous streams that makes rigging really fast. That could be pretty cool. Let's type in M-Gear framework. Open source rigging. Let's go for it. Yeah, they added a feature for MetaHuman, which I think the also Advanced Skeleton has an option to be able to support MetaHuman as well, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe I'm thinking of Control Rig. PyMel Python 3 installed. If using M-Gear, remember to install PyMel. Pretty sure that I turned that on. Ah, this is interesting. We're getting into the whole Python 3 installation commands, which I was going to start doing for another plugin as well. And I never actually got to it. And that one's about skinning, so I mean, to be fair, I probably should learn that one as well right now. But I really don't know what exactly the benefits are yet. So, here we go. macOS and later has heightened security restrictions on apps and plugins. They run this command in the terminal, which removes the quarantine flag when it gets downloaded. Okay, that's not appropriate, or that's not necessary for me. New features, project, mono repository, Python 3 support for 2022, shifter. Oh snap. Okay. These are menus. So which version is that? 4.03 is the latest. Let's download the zip. See what we get. Drag and drop install. Whoa, that sounds fun. I like those drag and drop install options. Sometimes though, when you do this, is they link all of your scripts to the folder that you just dragged and dropped it to, which I don't want it to be in my downloads. I want it to be in documents. I'm looking for anything to document anything. Can we just read this Python file? Usually, sometimes, not usually, but they'll have a bit of a blurb to talk about what's going on before they get into action. Your mod. Alright, I'm gonna just bring it over to my documents because that's what I want to do. We'll run it from there. So documents, Maya. I'm gonna put it specifically in 2022 scripts, I think. Put it right there. And then I'm gonna grab my Maya 2022. 2022.3. Because that just came out. And do my drag and drop. See what happens here. Install path. Oh, it's gonna tell me. See, it's did it anyways. It goes to the modulars folder, which is where the DLLs and stuff go. So that's pretty good. Know about. And I'm gonna install it. mgear files already exist in the install location. Would you like to overwrite them? Yes, I would. But I must have made mgear available in a different version of Maya. Warning, the plugin manager mgearsolvers.ml is attempting to load a non-trusted location. C drive, documents, Maya, modules, platforms. That totally looks trusted to me. What do you want to do? Allow. All good. Installation successful. Alright. Wasn't too bad. Alright, and then let's see, we want to get plugin started, or maybe it's already going. Oh, there it is, mgear, right there. Nice. Rockin'. Mgear viewport mode, shifter. This is why I was a little cautious about using mgear, because it's like, oh, simple rig tool. That's what we're looking for. Hey, look, I lost my file. Oh, that's great. Oh, no. I'm probably going to have to redo some stuff. Forgot to save it right at the end. Gosh darn it. I forgot that that was a risk. Alright. Let's just go through it. Make it happen here. I gotta get to my create measuring tools, distance tools, 2 nodes. 1 node goes to 0. Oops. The other one goes on a Y of 180. That gives me the perspective, so we scale this up for already kind of aware that we're going to go for a size where we want kind of a human to look eye to eye with this character. Let's go to the front view and make sure we're lined up here before I freeze my dimensions. Actually seemed okay. Perspective. Bring it so that in the middle. Freeze all of our dimensions. Save our progress. Alright, actually what we should do is do a reference. So do a new level now, and then we're going to reference in our mesh. A reference editor. Make a new reference. Go back to our volcano beast source volcano mesh, reference that in. Turn on our textures so that we have, it's a little safer to do references, and it's also just a good workflow because I can make changes to the mesh and it'll just populate into the rig, and I don't have to worry about messing with my rig file trying to get mesh changes in. It's just a good workflow in general for rigging. So let's grab our mesh and try this simple rig tool and see if we can just wing it before we start having to read documentation. So we got, usually they start from the top, work your way down. I'm going to assume that's kind of the idea. So I'm going to create a root. There's our root nose, that looks good. It's right in the center. Create control. Center of geometry. Circle. Side label. Why am I, do I really want to create a control? Don't I have to have like joints and stuff? Maybe this isn't a rigging part, this is a geo root. Auto rig. What is it gonna do? I don't know. Simple rig root already exists in their scene root. I don't think this is gonna do what I think it was gonna do. Convert to shifter rig. Delete pivot. Delete rig. Auto build. I think that's what we just did already. Export config, import config. Alright, that wasn't very useful. Skin and weights, copy skin, import skin, export skin. Rig bits. Okay. Anim bits. Gen. Crank shot sculpt. No idea. Anim picker. Oh. That's cool. You get to make your anim picker. That's a little too early though. First we have to have things that we want to pick. Flex utilities, reload, create mgear hotkeys, help. Alright, sorry, we're gonna have to definitely go to the documentation because I am way off on understanding what I'm supposed to do here. So we got overview. Here's our quick rig picker. Can't promise any support. Alright, quick guide to get you set up and running with mgear shifter. Shifter is a character rigging part of mgear, which will combine various components, legs, arms, and spines, chains, to rig most kind of characters, creatures, and mechanical contraptions. Got it installed. Hey, we got past that part already. Rigging a biped. Rigging a biped is very quick and easy with shifter as it comes already made with the guides. Load the guide template. Oh, guide templates for both standard biped and quadruped. Steps are involved in building rig art. Load the guide template. Position the guides to match the character's anatomy. Build the animation rig. Adjust the control curves as needed. Skin the character into formers. Animate. That sounds actually quite recognizable as a workflow. Build guides from a template. Start by selecting gear, shifter, guide, template, samples, build biped template from menu. This builds you guides, and the biped guides consist of multiple components repositioned to match the proportions of the character. Each guide component consists of a root, position, blade, curve. Wait, what do these mean? Root is a top level node. Position are the positions of each joint, elbow, wrist, etc. Blade, the red triangle wedges, controls the up axis of components. Okay. Curve, gray lines, these are only for reference to show how everything connects together. Oh, right, fair enough. So the red ones are just the up nodes. That's good to know. Oh, sorry, the red triangle wedges, not the red cubes. The red cubes is a root. So somewhere there's maybe triangle wedges. I don't really see any. All components have a root, but not all position, blade, or curve. You can position the rotate and scale root. Okay, I think we can do this now. Let's just check it out. M gear. Where was the shifter? Guide manager? Is that what they were asking us to do? Oh, no. Shifter guide templates. So shifter guide sample template samples. Biped, quadruped, game biped template. Ooh, that makes me concerned. Epic meta human template. Epic mannequin template. Hey, we found a mannequin template with a Z up and a Y up. That's even more interesting. So with a Y up is what Maya defaults to, and Z up is what Unreal defaults to. And you can switch your Maya view to be Z up. There's an epic metahuman snap, which was that new feature, but I don't understand what it's for. Well, it seems like I only have one choice, but I'm really curious to know what this means now. That makes me think that you can take a mannequin and you can make a animation rig with it. Well, you'd want to do this one because it would be incorrect otherwise. I'll have to play with that one later. That looks pretty interesting. That was something I was trying to figure out the other day. So we're going to pick quadruped template up and see what happens here. Beautiful. Just what I was hoping would happen. Wait, here it is. It's teeny tiny. Okay. Well. That's, there it is. Now what? All components have root, but not all have position, blade, and curve. You can position, rotate, and scale the root and position guides to fit your character. Use the blade roll offset attribute to adjust the blade guides. Wait, what is the blade roll offset again? Blade roll offset. Okay, so if we pick the blade, which is the red triangle ones, that doesn't make any sense. Blade guides. Oh, that's probably if you do have a blade, you can use the roll offset to adjust it instead of moving it around in space. Since we don't have to do double work, we can start by deleting the right side root guides. Wow, I'm glad I'm reading this documentation. IRO root and shoulder. Oh man, they got multiple roots. That's a bad sign already. That means it's not game compatible, but maybe it'll get better. Who knows? Body, neck, arm. So they're saying I can just get rid of half the right half, which is normal because you don't want to, unless your character is asymmetrical. So there's IRO, which is one of the things they picked out on. And then shoulder RO. There it is. R0, I guess. And then leg R0 root. Here it is. Boom. So we just have the left half now. Once we're happy with the placement, on the left side, we can simply use M-gear shifter duplicate symmetry to mirror to the other side. You can test your rig at any point by simply selecting the guide node from the outliner and running M-gear shifter build from selection. Wow, that's pretty cool. You can just try it out, see what it looks like, and then go back. This will build the complete animation rig. Once finished testing, you can simply delete the rig node from the outliner and continue adjusting your guides. Oh, okay, so once you build your thing, you can just delete it afterwards and your guides are still working. Position the guide start by selecting the top guide node in the outliner and scale it so that the hip is in the correct place. Oh, this is fun. They're actually telling me how to start. Select the top node, top guide node in the outliner. Select the top guide node. Are you going to tell me what it's called? Select the top guide node in the outliner and scale it. Oh, scale it. Ah, okay. Missed that part. So is it controllers? What are these things? I have no idea. Global. That looks good. Global. What are these things on the ground? Front leg. Spine. I don't know why those are down there. Alright, I'm gonna grab that root. We're gonna scale it up. Keep it going until we're at the size of the character. If we put X-ray joints, no, that doesn't work. Wire, whoops, not wireframe. X-ray, there we go. Oh boy, okay. I wonder if I should be moving the mesh or the... Probably should be moving the guide, right? I don't know, then it's not really in the center of my world here. Seems like the idea is that this is in the middle. I'm gonna change up my mesh. So in order for me to do that, I gotta do a little reference update. It's a little more complicated, unfortunately, but once I get it going, it should be okay. Opening up Maya. Here we go. And I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up. Getting there. I didn't save my reset. Nope, not that one. This one. I want to go to asset library. In fact, I want asset library to be here. Future. And I'm just going to open up the mesh file. And I'm going to move the mesh file so that we are in the middle, like this. Okay. And then we save, minimize, come over to our rig file, open up our reference editor, reference, reload reference, question everything. What's the deal? Why is it not working? I gotta freeze this? That was weird. I don't know why that didn't just work. Okay, awesome. Let's unload reference. Reload reference. What is happening right now? Wow. Boy, I've really made a terrible example of how references are useful here. Well, let me just get rid of it. Bring in another one. There it is. Now it's working. That was lame. I don't know what that was all about. Usually just reloading the reference works. Maybe it's a bug. Always gotta assume that's a possibility. It might be a bug. So anyway, now we're back to where we were before, where we wanted to make sure that this character was scaled right before we start doing minor, smaller tweaks. We've got some huge legs here. And then we're gonna minimize that. Go back to our documentation for a sec here. Scale the hip into the right place, and then work your way down the hierarchy from the spine out into the different body parts, positioning each one in turn. If you need to reposition a parent guide after positioning its children, you can temporarily deparent the children while moving the parent. Wow. Okay. We'll only be covering what you need to get your character rigged here. For details on each component, see the shifter component reference to do broken link. That was funny. Each guide has settings to adjust the behavior of their component. Oh no, that sounds complicated. Well, let's just go ahead and see what we can do here. So this is what, oh, let me turn off meshes. What we got here is body CO root. That's actually not too bad of a position, but if I move it, I move the whole thing. And if I deparent it, that just sounds complicated. So I don't know whether I want to do that right away or not. Looks like spine 01 root is in the same place as body root. Is it a selectable object? I don't know, I can't tell. Shoulder 01 root. You can change the length of that one. And then you can grab the root of the leg. This is an interesting question right now. It's like, what is the best spot for this leg? And should I scale it? I seem to think it was okay to scale it the first time. I'm having trouble just visualizing how this animal's gonna walk. So let's go back to X-ray and take a look here. We got the knees. They actually look like the knees are going outward, but it's supposed to be able to walk. Like, which way would it flex if it was gonna take a step? Would it flex? Is it gonna flex like this? Or is it gonna flex like it's facing forward? Almost like they're aiming outward almost. When you walk, maybe the top part rotates and arcs, and the bottom just kind of does a little bit of a, because you can't really get you're not supposed to be able to have your knee do like a side to side rotation. That wouldn't be allowed normally. So if this was able to kind of go in and out, and that one just did a rotate this way. Alright, let's go with that theory. That means that the root of this is actually over here, and then we have to rotate it like this. Where would it be? It would probably be over here more. And this one. Okay. That works. This is the back leg L0 effector. This is the back leg left foot. I'm gonna keep it in the middle, I guess, because I don't know how many controls I actually have to work with here. We've got left foot out pivot. Oh, here we go. These ones definitely need to be moved. So we move these out to the extent of where this foot should be able to pivot from. What's this one? Back foot 1 locator. What does that mean? What is this? Heel, okay. And this is another locator. Oh, it's the other locator. Maybe this is where the toe bends. Now what's up with this? The effector. Does that have to be relevant to where this is? I actually don't know. Well, I guess that's why it's good that you can just do your test recordings and then find out. Or not recordings, but riggings. So we're gonna try a similar thing here. Looks like these legs also kind of pivot out. So I'm gonna do, this should really be like maybe 45 degrees. They're actually a little bit forward. So put that around there. This is such a strange shape. I mean, I rotated a little bit, but like that means the elbow would bend in based on its local axis here. Like that, because it's bent in a little bit. So if you, oh, I guess for an elbow on a human, that would be how it would bend, wouldn't it? Okay, so what do we got? Like backwards elbows? It's almost like we do. They're like, why does that not look wrong? I don't understand. Let's just turn off X-ray for a minute here. Like this arm bends out. Now if you looked at it like, you know, you got your character and their elbows are like out, you're like this, maybe that would work. I don't know. Or we literally just flip the elbows around. Not sure if the logic of the IK controller for this will actually kick in for that. But you would just literally have backwards elbows. Alright, backwards elbows, let's try it. Hey, Riz. Riz played Pictionary today with Alabama Head Injury Foundation. How did that go? What was the score? Get some good points in. How does what would be a good Pictionary? What was a good Pictionary item that you had? I gotta find the middle of the knee joint here. I think that's kind of where the shoulder blade would sit, I guess. Almost kind of feel like it's a little bit over here. And unfortunately, I got this slightly awkward feeling like it's not lining up very well here. Like, I need to go like this more so that I can get this to go in. And I can bend in. What is this? The ankle? Ugh. How do you get this to work here? I actually have to twist it, I think. It's awkward. $45, 20, 15. I try to put some whole numbers in there so that I can compensate maybe. Oh no, I can't rotate that one. Maybe the ankle has to be rotated. Oh, I can't rotate that either. They've got limitations. Riz, yeah, I had to draw a snowflake. That's kind of probably a little tricky. I bet you everybody thought it was a spider web. I am trying to rig this character. This is a lava. It's called Volcano Beast, made by one of the students, and she wanted somebody to animate it, but it needs to be rigged if you're going to animate it. So I'm using M gear to animate or to rig it, and I've never really used M gear before, especially not on a quadruped. So it's a bit of a learning experience, but that's how it usually goes with these streams. And so far it's feeling pretty good, but that's not too surprising at this stage because things usually go well until you actually start seeing final results. Right now I'm having a trouble where if I'm not allowed to rotate, I can rotate the toe. If I'm not allowed to rotate this, then they had no intention for me to have this foot on an angle like this, which makes me question my approach. So it's almost like it needs to be straight, but then how do I get this? I mean, I can't move it over there, which is good. I'm glad they don't let me do that. How do I get it to go over there? Kind of just feel like I gotta rotate it, and then these are my pivot points. I just have to make sure they go in the right place. I can't rotate this, but I can rotate the toe. So maybe that's... it's only an effector though, I don't even know. Riz says, obviously it needs to be rigged. Yeah, you bet. Just the static mesh doesn't do much for anybody. I actually said in my comment after she posted this and says, can somebody rig this? Oh, it should be easy to rig. Foot in mouth. It should be easy to rig, but I'm definitely experiencing some challenges here where I've got these feet are like, these legs are a little more trickier than I thought. It's funny that I'm working on the foot right now. Foot front. Foot front. It's supposed to be up here. Oh, in pivot. No, that's what I'm looking for. Sorry, yeah, in pivot. So this is the in of the foot, and that's the outer of the foot pivot, and then we've got one other one in here that should be the heel pivot. Alright. And that goes around here. Make sure it's sort of at the right height. And I still don't know what these are. I think they're like for toes, so I'm gonna move them as if they are toes. And we'll just see if that works. I have no idea, it's on an angle, but anyway. So that is the feet. And I better save this. A long time ago I should have saved it. Save as. So we're gonna call this rig 01. Or no, I'm gonna say rig. And I'm gonna turn on increment save. So we go to save scene option box, turn on incremental save, we'll limit it to like 20 saves. We'll save it again. Ugh, won't let me because there's no changes. Increment save is actually a pretty good way of, you know, keeping versions as you work without having to manually maintain that. Am I gimbal locked? I'm not. It's not a gimbal lock. It's actually purposely made rig restriction so that you don't put the rig into a position that is gonna put you in a bad spot. Basically, your elbows are not supposed to be able to bend sideways. They're supposed to only go rotate in one direction. So as you're putting this together, they don't want you to assemble it in a position that where your limbs would be all broken, and then you're supposed to animate with it. And this is definitely a thing I've run across before. Aka Himo. Wow. Aka? Iki? Aka? If you deparent, maybe you can change the angle of the children. Yeah, well, that's actually a really good point, and I may actually have to do that in like 3 seconds, because I literally have to take this and I think shift it or something, or maybe one of these. And in order for me to do that without manipulating the other ones, I will deparent for sure. But in this case, for this one, I kind of want to just stick with the limitations. I don't want to mess with it. If they told me not to move that way, then I want to stick to that. Neck C root. Okay, so this is the root, so it has nothing to do with the rest of them. It actually makes my life quite a bit easier. And I think this character is a lot lower. I don't even know whether... Oh, those are the eye roots. What else we got here? The neck effector. Tan 1? Neck tan 1? What the heck does that mean? Riz, have you assigned weight maps yet? Nope, that comes later. I still haven't even... So, what the instructions have told me, as I'm going through them, is that you can, at any point, build the control rig for it, based on the guides that I have, and it will just give you a sense of whether it worked or not, and then you can delete the rig and keep moving the guides and then build it again. So you're not stuck to, you know, having to commit, which is cool. Well, at least not until you're really ready to stop moving with it. This must be the right eye. So I've deleted half the guides, right? So I don't have to worry about the other half. So this probably is my left eye. I just have to get it to be where the eye is here. I don't expect there to be any eye animation because we just have a single texture on. But you never know. Maybe we'll do some blinks or something. I don't even know what we're gonna do here. This is where I was like, oh, it's an easy rig because there's not much going on here. Here's our mouth root, which is awesome. So we're gonna put that way back here. That would be where the jawline is. Let me just do that again, but not just arbitrarily move it. And what do we got here? We got the upper lip. Let me just rotate that for me. Lava tears. That's funny. Oh yeah, so this rig, by the way, I should, for anybody who missed it, has the lava spilling out the sides, which is pretty cool. But we're gonna do it so that we can put a joint on here and have it like stretch and then touch the ground, and then we'll spawn like a lava droplet, and then it will just zip it back up here. So it just keep like, look like it's dripping. That's the idea anyways. Could be kind of fun though. I've never seen a character with that. And then we'd be like this trail of drips wherever they walk. And he's like, you know, huge character, so he'd be walking around like a big boss and he'd be big droplets of lava. Yeah, it is cool, right? Alright, I'm gonna rotate this so that I can get the... It's always tough to figure out where the jaw is on a character, because like your jawbone is way, way back, and then like where it pivots. And always a little tricky to figure out where the heck it's supposed to go here, especially on this kind of character. This is the upper lip. Put it here. Riz, does your lava have feeling? Does my lava have feeling? Oh, for the lava tears? It's a sad lava monster. Lip low. Here's the jaw. So that's interesting. So the jaw. Now this is a good question. Is the jaw supposed to be where the jaw pivot is? So then does that mean it goes back here? And then what does that mean? Does that mean the mouth root? Is it okay that the mouth root is in front of the jaw? Oh man, I don't know. Let's try that. What else we got here? This is the neck. Oh yeah, the neck. And what's this one? This is the head and the head effector. Well, it says neck effector actually, but they're all neck. It's all part of the neck system. I have no idea what tan 0 is. Tan 1. It's the spine effector, so that's not even related to this at all. I don't know if these have to be so far away. Maybe that's like for the neck spine, neck curving spine, you'd want the front. Oh yeah, look at that. It's making a curve here. It's kind of interesting. Oops, I want this other guy over here. So, oh, they're all parented to each other. See, there's this situation. What's out here? Oh yeah, the eyes look. Alright, I'm just gonna move the neck back here for a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this is a situation where I should unparent it. Neck, mouth, eyes, look, eyes. So, what we got here? We got, that's our neck root. Then we got neck and we got head. So the head is actually almost in the right place. It's just the neck. Wait, the neck is where the head is. What? And there's our tent. There's the head. Whoa, what is that? Okay, well, I had a plan, now I'm confused. So, can I move the neck? I can. Maybe the neck and the head are supposed to be in the same place, I don't even know. Because we got this one and we have that one. So that's the beginning of the neck and the end of the neck. I'm gonna hit Shift P to unparent the head. Grab the neck, move it back where I think the neck is supposed to be. And then I'm gonna grab those objects that I unparented. Then I must drag, or maybe I could have hit P. Oh man, where are we here? Neck, tan, head. I hope I put that back in the right place. It made more sense to me when I hit Shift P. Now I don't know anymore. No, I didn't put it in the right place. Let's go here. These were separate. Alright. So we're gonna hit save scene. It's gonna make an increment for me automatically because I turned it on. So we should have no, that's not in the right place. We should have increment save where we start saving the files one by one, even though they're technically still located here. We're creating a folder and incrementing save right there. AK, Aka. I wish I could find out how to say your name. Quadrupeds are more advanced than bipeds. Yes, yes, yes. Yes is the answer. This is part of why creature animation is not entry level. Yeah, well, we're not even talking about animating it, but yeah, for rigging purposes, most setups are always biped centric, and then as a bonus extra feature, they add quadruped support, and it's difficult to find a good, like, there's even arguments about what a good quadruped rig is, because it depends on the type of character and what the main source of movement should be like. So sometimes having like the spine independent from the front of the animal to the back of the animal allows you for better, like, you know, tiger kind of movements and stuff. But in this case, that's not really a priority. We don't really want the front and back to be separate. We want them to be like a uniform, solid piece, and thinking more about the arms and stuff. So there's, because with that extra control also requires extra maintenance when you're animating it. So sometimes it's not good to have that. So there's no like staple quadruped rig necessarily. Yeah, that's right. Like you'd have a whole front half that would be independent and the back half be independent, and they could move without influencing each other. And that would give you that, because when you break down quadruped animation, it's like you've got these, you could literally just do two balls moving and independently, and that sort of represents their, especially with horses and stuff, you can kind of see them rocking. And so when you have a rig where you rotate the back end and your whole front end starts rotating with it, it really makes it a lot harder to visualize that, the fact that they're independent. You really have to work hard to animate it like that. So having a controller just to let you focus on that alone can really speed up your workflow. Well, I think I'm all done positioning things. Everything looks pretty good. And I had just saved it. So let's try this next step. Let's see what the control rig looks like. Not too, I don't know, optimistic it's going to be amazing, but at least I can spot these issues earlier than later so that I can start identifying what to focus on. You can test your rig at any point by selecting the guide node from the outliner and select the M gear shifter build from selection. Select the guide node, that one, and then go M gear shifter build from selection. Yep, right here. There you go, buddy. Got a priority for a Santa book. Alright, so we need to do... I can't imagine how complicated a Centaur would be then. Yeah, that's up there. That's up there with like dragons. I label dragons as one of the most complicated things. You've got wings, you got four arms, you've got a tail, you got this super long neck, you got like a mouth that breathes fire and scales, and ugh, too much work. In fact, it was recently I saw somebody on, oh, not that recently, it's been a while now, but they were so proud that their company had built this rig for dinosaurs, for dragons, that you could animate a whole movement in like a couple hours, and that was their like pinnacle of like optimized movements. The fact that you could have a rig that's so complicated like a dragon, and then also have it so intuitive that an animator could do a really cool sequence in such a short period of time. And that was a really amazing achievement, because anytime I've ever animated like anything with wings, it's just been, oh, what a mess. And it just takes an extreme amount of patience, but to do something like that in a couple hours is just pretty crazy. Alright, so shifter and then build from selection. I think that's what they asked me to do. Alright, we got a screen over here that's loading. I can't show you. Oh, there it goes. Finalize. Boom, 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 boom. Looks like lots of stuff got built. Alright. What do we got here? Oh, I forgot to mirror the other half of the thing, so we're only going to see half of it. Alright, well, I picked this. Oh, there we go. No, I picked that one. Oh, this one doesn't let me Translate. Now I gotta learn how to use the rig. So I haven't done any skinning, so this is just the skeleton. And I am totally not getting it right now. It's just not intuitive at all. I can't seem to translate anything. Oh, I was able to rotate this one. Okay. Oh, I'm able to rotate the toe. Yeah, it's coming along. Still don't know what the heck this is for. More rotations. How do I move the foot? Oh, there it is. Just when I asked. But, oh, it is an object mode. Hey, that orientation of that object is not very good. That's not a good sign right now. Let's see what the back foot is. Maybe it's oriented better. Nope. Which one is it? Oh no, this one's even worse. That doesn't even make sense. It's like translating the knee joint. Oh man, what a mess. And like, I made these like rotator pull things in the corner, and they are not at all. They don't even care. It's like, why? Why did you make those? This doesn't help us at all. Oh wait, yeah, that does work now. Look at this. It's rotating based on that pivot. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I go back. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's pivoting off of that point in the back there. Alright, that's pretty cool. And then when you pivot off the toe, it doesn't quite work, but I can kind of tell that these two vector points here that I made were actually coming into effect here. Well, that might actually work pretty good if I can get this figured out. Not bad. The only problem is I've got this really messy system for whatever the heck's going on here. This is just not feeling natural at all. Like, what? Look how that knee is just not. What are you doing? Okay. Well, let's go back and see if I can straighten some of that stuff out. So I should be able to click root and delete. No? That didn't work. What did they say here? Once you're finished testing, you simply delete the rig node from the outliner. That's what I did. I want to delete the guide. Oh, here's a rig. What was the other thing I deleted? Oh man. Okay, so I've only got 15 minutes left in my stream, and I've got some serious problems right now. Not a good sign. This looks pretty, like, angled correctly, though. I'm surprised they came out so poorly. Like, I was feeling like I was being pretty safe. This is all nice and flat. Like, this, maybe the front leg, okay, fair enough. I was kind of screwing around with that one, trying to make it work, and I'd be willing to go back on it. But this one I thought was pretty clean. I don't know where it all went wrong here. I mean, that is pretty much lined up vertically. Now, there was a thing about these. There's three types of nodes. There's one of them that is the blade, which is a red triangle. These are the up axis of some components. So if there is something like that here, it could be a big part of what is working and what isn't working. Let's see if I can find it in here. So leg effector. Right, so the leg effector is actually not lined up very well. That's not a good sign at all. In fact, if I look at all of them, they all look like they're not quite. Let's go to the top view for a sec. Yeah, they do all look a little bit off. Okay, that explains why this isn't working then. We gotta get this to be centered out. Where did I go wrong on that one? They're lined up this way. It's this that's not lined up. Get rid of his rotations. Where's that effector gone? This guy. There we go. Let's try this. Definitely seeing a difference now. Now why is that one? It's not even rotated and yet it's not in the right place either. Oh, it's this guy right here. There we go. Alright. This guy's zeroed out. Bring that one out. Alright, let's try this again. So M gear, and we're gonna go shifter. Oh, I gotta select the guides first. And build from selection. Pump through this for a bit. Alright, let's see what we got. Hey, where's our big foot controller? Uh-oh. Oh no, the knee is still messed up. And what happened to the big circle thing? Why don't I have a big circle thing? What is this line thing all about? Huh. What is this? Was your ankle? Yeah, I guess you can move your ankle around. This is the pole vector that determines which way your knee bends, but it doesn't care. It's like, what do you mean? What do you need that for? This still looks a little wonky, right? Like, if I look at this from a straight perspective, that's not straight, that's not straight. Something, I must not have reset everything yet. So let's go back to square one for a sec here. Got to scale. This is the back foot root. Has no rotations. You back that up. Looks perfectly in line. Oops. This one has some translates on it. This is the back foot. Oh, when I zero that out, it all goes higher. So what if I take, instead of that moving up, we're gonna move the root? No, not the root. This root, the foot root. That doesn't look right. I don't know. Got on here. Got a couple translations on here again. What? That's just because it's up here now. Okay, so really, why is this not working? It's just a simple one value change here. This one has two value changes. Let's put that back to one. One value change. Oh, I see what the two values is. That's to bring it down. Maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know. It's supposed to be rotated. This has got 170 degrees and a 90-degree rotation. What is that doing exactly? Oh, it puts it sideways. Got a bit of scaling. Let's remove the scaling. Sometimes that screws stuff up. I did have to translate it. Ensure the position it is. Don't think my rotations were... Yeah, it was already pre-rotated. Basically, it was just like... Must have been 90, like this or something when I first had it. Maybe it's because it's... I don't know. I'm gonna try a plan here. Just for proving if this is gonna work or not. When you're doing joint placements, it gets into a point where you're like very much careful about what your orientation of each joint is. So, and when I move this, it does technically, no, it doesn't actually rotate this to the position. So if I rotate it, and then I take this one and I counter rotate it, that's more in line with a workflow you would do with joints without, you know, going back and orienting the joints properly again. So let's do 30 this way, and we'll do minus 30 the other way. That way we're nice and straight. We'll take this object and we'll move it down. Oh, this is the ankle. Okay, so the ankle doesn't have to be in the same place as the foot. We grab the foot, and we bring that down. And we'll try it one more time. Save. Grab our guide, gear, shifter, build from selection. Oh no! I feel like every time I do this, it gets worse and worse. Like, look at how terrible that is. What is happening? The ankle controller is not anywhere near where the ankle controller needs to be. Maybe it's because I gave it no angle to work with at all. Anyway, so yeah, no. Maybe that's all it is. I don't know. It's ridiculous. This is not going well. Let's try rotating this way by 20 degrees. Which way does the ankle need to go? It would be straight, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have a bend in your ankle. Oh boy. Oh, that doesn't even work. Math doesn't make any sense to me right now. One more time. No, there's still something mysterious going on here. It wants to build this joint, not where the ankle is, and by having the ankle off, I think it's screwing up the whole knee bend. Wow. Well, how disappointing is that, eh? Right at the end of my stream. I'm gonna just take a look at the skeleton for a minute before I completely abandon here. Because there's one element that's really important about my rig before I even consider whether I want to use this rig or not. And I'm pretty sure this is the final rig, but it's not looking very good from a skeleton perspective here, because we have our joints, which I'm pretty sure are our main joints that we're going to skin. Although I don't know how that works exactly. They're all mixed up inside this hierarchy, so... Oh, here we go. Joint... Oh, never mind. Here's the joint hierarchy right here. Okay, so as long as you got a nice clean joint hierarchy, then in theory, you could make this into a game rig at the end of the day. So it would be more of a question of how do you get the rig to work than it is about whether or not the rig is even worth trying to save or not. So at least I have some questions now, I guess, of... I mean, I went in the deep end, to be fair, where when you're looking at these kind of rigs, you want to probably start simple and find these issues and then work your way to something more complex. But I did try to just see if I could wing making a M gear on a character like this without having to go through a whole bunch of, you know, small iterations, but it didn't work out so good. Probably because the legs have to be rotated extremely far over to the right, and that's definitely a challenging thing for a rig to do. So I don't know. I'll either have to play with it a bit more, or maybe we'll go back to Advanced Skeleton and try it there. But maybe I could ask John, see if John has any tips in terms of why that's not acting properly, because it's very difficult to... Like, if you can't get that to work, you're relying on the tool set to figure it out for you. If you can't get the tool set to do it for you, then you're like, what am I going to do? It's your job, not my job. Anyways, I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for anyone who's still watching. It was a bit of a frustrating end, but it definitely is how it goes with the rigging world. Hopefully you learned a few things along the way. This is the last week before the holidays, so the next time I do my stream will be in the new year. So I wish you guys all a nice holiday break, and I will see you again in 2022. So take care, everybody. Cheers.